Okay, so welcome to the Walnut Desk podcast. Today we have two special guests from the Desert Island Discourse podcast, Max Cohen and
Hi.
Andrew Cothran.
Hello.
And today we have them to help us talk about music because we're talking about the top 40. Tell us something about yourselves and then something about the show.
So on our podcast, we are fascinated by studio albums. So each week we go through an artist's discography and kind of discuss how an artist's career changes over time, and then we ultimately pick our favorite albums that we take with us to, the desert island of the mind, of the soul.
Well, yeah, so that's the podcast. I and Andrew and Ryan all hail from the UMass MFA program.
Woo!
Yep.
They're both fiction degenerates, and I was a lovely poetry person. And we somehow ended up in podcasts because we're weird.
It's like, I feel like you'd start a podcast when you're like, late 20s and you don't have as many friends as you thought you would.
That's absolutely true, though.
Yeah, this is it. This is all we've got left.
That's what happened, though, is I moved to Chicago. Like, this was always Andrew's idea.
Yeah.
Friends of the desk.
Kind of like stealing from you guys' model, we self-imposed some restrictions about the type of music that we would listen to for the week.
Yep.
And decided that we wanted to live the experience of modern pop music and pop culture by listening only to the Billboard Pop Top 40 list.
Yep, this is the mainstream top 40, and boy, was it rough.
This is my first question, right? Because it was so rough, and it's, how does this list get made? Like, what makes a top 40 anymore? Like, because nobody's buying singles. I don't think radio stations really take requests anymore, do they?
I mean, if they do,
the top 40 format's all robo DJs.
Yeah, if they do, this isn't from the requests either. This is just from what gets played the most.
Right, and I tried looking it up, and I just kept getting like vague explanations of like, oh yeah, we use a lot of different sources.
I'm sure streams do it. So I think like the irony is, we, by doing this, by listening to these songs on Spotify, may have done our part to help ensure that they stay on this list.
Right.
So it's our fault that both Ed Sheeran and the Chainsmokers are on here.
That's
twice.
kind of horrifying.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so
I think
we
we played a
are
part in
complicit.
No. God.
God.
Abort
We have become
episode.
death, destroyer of charts.
So I think we all decided that it was like a pretty miserable experience. Do you guys want to go into a little bit of detail about like what your week was like with the soundtrack of the American Top 40 playing?
Yeah, any particular moments that stick out?
Well, I should say we were lucky in that it wasn't purely top 40 because we also had weekly research. So we were also listening to Slow Dive.
Yeah.
I tried to like divide. I don't know how Andrew did it. I divided it into days. So like the first 2 or 3 days of the week was Slow Dive, and then I wanted to do top 40 the rest. So there was no respite, and it felt like it's so long and it's not different, and so it's just like it felt like dunking my head in like a bucket of corn syrup and just like feeling it get into very like the general feeling's the same, but it's reaching deeper crevices as time goes on. Like, I don't know. It was a hard time.
And I kind of, a couple times, just throughout living here in New York, the past week, like cars would drive by playing songs that I otherwise would not, before this week, have known what they were.
Right.
And now I kind of recognize. And same with like, walking past nightclubs and stuff where I could hear the music coming from inside. So it was basically, gave me a new understanding of those spaces where I would not be, because I would not go into like a nightclub like that, or nor would I just walk into someone's car. But
right.
Just hearing these songs out in the world and recognizing them in a way that I have not before, because I don't really dig into a lot of this music, because I really was only familiar with 1 or 2 of these songs before getting into this. So outside of those 2, it was just hearing all new things out there in the world of Brooklyn.
Right.
So it made the world a bigger place for you?
A little bit.
Or a smaller place?
Or at least I understood people more.
Yeah, but is that understanding a positive, or did it make you feel negative feelings?
Well, it depends on the song.
All right.
It's, yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, wait. How did y'all feel? Oh, I guess we could take the second.
Yeah.
It's y'all's podcast. I'm not.
I want
Yeah.
Ryan to tell how he felt because I feel like he went through a much more tortured experience than I did with the top 40.
Well, because I listen to music all day. So my job, I work from home. So I'm at home all day. I'm alone with the cat. And, like, I have nothing to do but, like, play music and listen to music to keep myself sort of entertained in breaks and stuff. So, like, after day one, I was having I had to restrain, like, physical urges to put on other music. Like, I would subconsciously start to go, I could just go listen to this other song right now, just for a break. But I couldn't. And we were doing this last night, too. It lasted until last night. We were like, we want to write a song like this, work on a song like this. And then we started to listen to the example, and we're like, no, we can't! So, like, those, like, I feel like my mind, there's a subconscious place that was trying to escape all week. And so I felt that. And, like, the moment that really stuck out to me as the worst is when I woke up in the morning, on Thursday morning, with, like, one of the songs stuck in my head. It was It Ain't Me. It's like it felt like a semi-country, very vanilla pop song, but I woke up in the morning and it was like it had been in my dream that I was just having.
That's the Selena Gomez one, right?
Yeah, it's the Selena
I think
Gomez
aren't
guest
there two
one.
Selena Gomez ones?
There are two.
Yeah, she's a guest on this one.
Right. I actually like the one that's just hers. I'll be real.
I think that's in my, like, surprise column.
Yeah, most surprising.
Although that's the one that has the Psycho Killer bass line, right?
Right? It's exactly the Psycho Killer bass line. What's going on?
But, like, the song would be better without that. Like, it would actually be a better song if the bass line was actually in the key of the rest of the song, or the mode of the rest of the song.
It does change keys, but it's the same, like, pattern. I don't quite understand it. I don't know if it was like a producer trying to be like, hey, we're gonna make a pop song, but also I listen to the Talking Heads. It's gonna be a little edgy.
It's gonna be cool.
You know?
David Byrne gave his blessing. He wrote a post about it.
He did?
Really?
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Which, how could you not, though? Like, of course he did.
It's an irresistible song.
It's money. Just money in your pocket.
Or it's money. Okay, fine.
He's going to buy a brand new, what are those bikes with the big front wheel on them? He's going to buy a brand new one of those that he could ride around. And
Doesn't he have the
New York
folding
City.
one that he can, like, fold in
He's got
half?
every kind of bike. Guy loves bikes.
Bike enthusiast, David Byrne.
Like, your experience of working at home and having to listen to the top 40 just to keep yourself sane, like, it's so funny, the dissonance between, like, you needed to listen to music, it couldn't be silent, the top 40 was better than silence, but was
In the
still
end,
miserable.
yeah, it won.
So I want to talk to you about how much you hate silence.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm uncomfortable in
No
silence.
John Cage fan, this one.
No, it's
This guy.
uncomfortable. I don't know. It's just like I'm writing bullshit marketing copy, so like in order to not hate myself, there has to be some part of my brain that's activated that isn't doing that.
So that's the thing. So I think you and I have the same job.
I think so.
And it's a similar thing in that, like, I can't listen to silence, I'll go nuts. But also that, like, when I'm listening to music like this, it makes me, and I'm working, it makes me hate everything I do that much more, and my copy gets angry. My copy gets, like, really, like aggressive, just like fuck you, buy this car. Like, it will blow your fucking mind. Just make it stop. You know, like, it really, like, because it is like your whole day. It really, like,
I've kidnapped your child. You get your child back when you buy this car.
yeah, I kidnapped your child and locked her in the backseat of a RAV4.
Here are the keys. That'll be $35,000.
$1,000, right? It's already stocked with the top 40. Feel what I feel.
So, but like, Andrew and Will, you guys had different experiences than we did. So what were they like? I don't know.
I mean, I'm a teacher, so I spend like 6.5, 7 hours of my day unable to listen to music.
Yeah.
So I kind of had the dive in and study it experience as opposed to the have it on constantly ruining the background of everything that I'm doing experience. So I got to get into like earworm status with a few of the songs that were just bearable enough that I was listening to the top 40, but not so terrible, you know, they're like not the worst songs on the list. So like I would go through and I'd kind of did the music ADD thing with the top 40 a lot on drives.
Yeah.
So I got snippets and snippets and snippets, and then finally, when you go through the whole list, you're like, there's only really a few songs that I can handle on
There
here.
really
I-
are.
I don't have much of a commute, so I kind of work around the neighborhood where I live. So these songs kind of became the soundtrack of me in the evening at home, like making dinner. Whereas normally I'd be listening to like a podcast or something and putting on a record of good music. This time I was, making rice while listening to Play That Song by Train and just kind of really...
Do you mean Heart and Soul?
Oh, God.
By Train, yeah. they Back to the Future that shit. They went all the way back to like 1925. And
Much as I loved Train back in like 2001.
Can I take this segue? Because this is something that freaked me out.
Yes.
So listening to this, one of the things that occurred to me was like, wow, this music sounds a lot like pop music from like 15 years ago, like when we were kids.
Yeah.
Like it seems like pop music hasn't changed much, which was weird to me. But really driving that home is the fact that this list has Maroon 5, Train, and Linkin Park, all of whom were on the year-end top 40 in 2002, about 15 years ago. So they have never left us, or they left and came back right in time.
I think we
They're
should start
lifers.
I think we should start a support group for the 3 drummers that got replaced with drum machines in the last 15 years.
Because now they have
They're
to
all
play.
in a church basement right now.
They have to
Right.
play live still, I think.
They're burning 808s.
They just don't get to write anything. Yeah. It's like that scene from Office Space, except with an 808.
Right.
Do you think Train basically covering Heart and Soul is a power move, or like they're out of inspiration after 15 years in the top 40? Do you think they're like, we're Train, we can play Heart and Soul and we can still chart?
It seems like such hubris, because it's not just Heart and Soul. Like, they have new lyrics to it. And a different verse. So it's like, no, we are rewriting Heart and Soul in our own image, and that Train image is so distinct and so unique that you will see this only as a Train song. I think he thought he was going to do with it what Selena Gomez did with the Psycho Killer bass line.
Right. Train might be the band that should get the kind of criticism, not that this band shouldn't, that Nickelback gets. Like, Train should be the band that is like the de facto shitty band that we talk about from now on, I think.
Oh, when do you hear Nickelback's cover of The Entertainer that's coming out next month? It's going to be great.
So I listened to it. So when I sent the playlist out, and we will share the playlist for our listeners, so the Spotify playlist, it's in reverse order. So if you listen to it in order, it went from 40 to 1, which means that the number 1 song is Something Just Like This by the Chainsmokers and Coldplay.
I have to see if Coldplay were on that in
That's
2002
the number
now.
1 song.
You know what's weird to me? And I don't know if this is true for y'all, but like, for me, it seemed like I got confused because I felt like the songs got worse as it went on.
Right.
Like, I thought it started with like most of its best songs
I
at the
know.
bottom of the charts.
Not my
Yeah.
number
I mean,
one.
Is this Coldplay like trying to like ride the coattails of the Chainsmokers back into relevance? Because that would be such a dark moment.
It would be so pathetic. Or it is?
Yeah.
It's such a vague title for such a vague song that contains nothing. And I
By
feel
a
like
vague band.
It was just kind of... A lot of these songs, like I don't get packages in the mail very often,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's that new thing they do with packing peanuts that are kind of just like cheeseless cheese curls. Like they're made out of like corn
Yep.
and they're edible. And
Wait, what?
It's like edible packing peanuts made out of corn.
Could I be ordering packages for sustenance? Because I'm
Yeah.
hungry.
If you need
But
it.
if you like eat one, it just is like the most nothing flavor. Like you could tell that there's like you're eating a food, but it
Right.
has literally zero flavor. I feel like a lot of the songs in this top 40 I would describe thusly, which was
Wow.
like, I know there's a song here, but there's just nothing.
But the song's
without
over,
substance.
and I don't remember a
Did any of
song
these-
being there.
Did any of these songs like specifically hurt you? Like, there's a lot of songs that are bland, and I think there's a few songs that I think are good, but like the really like bad songs, like the songs that actually like felt bad
Yeah.
immediately or made you vomit. Like, were there any of those?
I Spy.
Yep.
I mean, the Train song really does hurt me.
No,
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
That's like one of the painful ones. What else?
Pretty bad. Attention really got to me, just like lyrically.
Oh yeah, it's an abomination lyrically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like this, like, it seems like what I thought the Chainsmokers lyrics would be like, which is like, oh, these like jilted frat boys coming together to like scold women for not fucking them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
that's the song. It's number 17 on the charts, right? Or 13. I don't know how to read this backwards.
And that's the one that comes in with like a really funky bass line at some point, and you have
Oh,
hope
yeah.
for the song, and it just crashes and burns when it hits the chorus.
I just stopped
goes so
listening
bad,
to the
yeah.
lyrics, and like I love that bass line. Mm-hmm. I hear that if we just
It's a
took
good
the
one.
lyrics out, I would like groove out to that bass line every day.
Yeah, we could just make this a Thundercat song and like
Right?
take Charlie Puth out of it.
Yeah, but that bass line becomes like a bird flying into power lines. It just like dies immediately. I think the one that hurt me the most was Body Like a Back Road, because I just know for a fact when I go home to upstate New York, I'm going to hear that coming out of the windows of passing cars this summer, and it's going to really make me feel terrible.
Yeah, exactly.
I had another thing. This is outside of the songs briefly, but I'm a cheapskate who still doesn't have a Spotify premium account. So on top of listening to these songs, I also had to listen to a lot of ads over the course of the week. And I was kind of fascinated, and I know Max and Ryan, you were both, you write ad stuff, ad copy. I was fascinated by
That's all our fault.
the balance that those ads have to strike between being so annoying that they force you into buying a premium account, but not so annoying that you say fuck this and refuse to listen to Spotify ever again. Like there's some little like that Venn diagram crosses over. Like they have that kind of right down to a science in a way that I find fascinating.
Oh yeah, it's like your summer is going to be better if you buy a Spotify premium account. That's the message.
Right, but you won't. It's not so onerous that you'll actually like lift your hand up and do stuff. That's like $5 seems like a lot to. Writing ad copy is really all about like skirting the annoyance of humanity, All
right, so there's a little game that I want to play a couple times as we go, just to break up the down moments. And the game goes like this: I'm gonna name a song, and I'm gonna try and name one of the most forgettable songs on the list, and you all try to hum the melody from that song together.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Are you ready for song number
let's
one?
go for it.
All right, song number one, Now or Never.
Jesus Christ!
Shit! Wait, by who?
I'm not sure how to pronounce the name. Halsey. Halsey.
Halsey was like, oh shit! It's like. Do 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 do.
I think it's. Yeah.
Nice.
It's like do 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 do.
I think that one suffered.
I'm sorry, I really
I don't remember.
can't remember at all.
I'm sure that one suffers because it comes after "Sign of the Times," which I think is a legitimately really good song.
Yeah, I think so too. Like after that, everything was pretty bad.
Yeah.
I don't like that song
I
at all.
don't like it either.
Why the fuck? Okay, can we start another game called Why This Song Is Better Than All of King of Limbs?
That's a whole other podcast episode. That's like the full hybrid when we bring the two podcasts together.
Right, but I would argue that Sign of the Times is better than all of King of Limbs.
Harry Styles is just like Rolling Stone just really likes Harry Styles because he makes music that's like trying to be like music that was relevant the last time they had their finger on any pulse.
I mean, I think that's true, but I also think like, and so this is something I think we talked about on Twitter, and I think happened a lot in our Smash Mouth episode, which is that if you listen to a lot of bad music, anything that's even like remotely good sounds like Mana from Heaven. Mm-hmm. Although I do also think it's legitimately good, but it sounds amazing in this context because I think it is copying like the rock and roll suicide era of like classic rock, glam rock, power ballads, but like I think it does it really well. Like his voice really kind of belts it out of the park. Like it's got some really corny slide guitar in the chorus, like slow pianos. I'm into it.
Especially when you.
I think he's a great voice. I think he's a
when you
great
consider
talent.
the other song from a member of One Direction that's on this list is "Slow Hands," and that song is not very good.
Yeah, I want you, baby. I've been thinking about it all.
Oh God,
Slow
I didn't
Hands is
even
really
know.
gross.
I didn't
That's
even
an
know that was a One Direction.
I didn't know that
person.
was an associated act. Wait, which?
Oh yeah, Niall.
Oh God.
Cute little Niall.
The one,
Yeah,
the
Slow
one
Hands is also
Irishman in One
very
Direction.
gross.
Ryan described
I
that
like-
song as a Black Keys Seaside, which I thought was like a really accurate description.
I just like to pretend that all the lyrics are about fucking Eric Clapton.
Oh
God.
God.
Well, why do you hate Sign of the Times? Is it just because it's like a throwback?
I just don't hear anything. Okay, so like I will say, Harry Styles has fantastic studio musicians. I don't think that he did much. I think it's just like
He wrote the song.
like a phone it in. You go into GarageBand and you use the presets, and then this is the song you get, and you just have to sing over it.
I don't know. I feel like the chord progression's just off a little bit for that not to be the case. Like it starts off like where you think you know it's going, and then it goes a different direction. And I think he's very pretty.
Yeah.
He's a very
It's not wrong.
Harold Styles is a very pretty man. I think for me, like listening to this much, I can't really pick out individual songs with a lot of these, like individual melodies. But I did sort of become fascinated by the formula of a lot of these songs, which is I don't think a single one of these songs, when a chorus hits, adds any music. They always drop it all out.
Yeah.
And then add it as the chorus goes along. Like every single song has like a little pre-chorus bit where all the instruments drop out and then they all come back in louder. I think probably
Yeah.
30 of these songs do that.
That's the drop, right? Is that what the kids are talking about with the drop?
It drops.
Well, it's not a beat. They're not dropping a beat. They're just dropping.
It's just a good old drop.
It's a plop.
I think it's all. I think
Plop.
yeah, the production's so similar on these that usually whenever a song like sounded even a little bit different production wise, like that was like I initially wanted to like I Spy just because it starts off sounding different
Right.
from the rest of the songs.
Right.
Like because
It's
the
like a
production
fun-
here is so. That's the thing is like I don't hate pop music. I like pop music a lot, and I'm not trying to say like kids these days have shitty taste. It really does feel like the way that pop songs are produced nowadays is so like canonized and formulaic that like all of these songs literally have the same instrumentation, the same production,
Yep.
a lot of the same melodies. Even like the ones that are like, oh, here's a stereotypical like Santana Supernatural era song.
Yep.
You know, here is a stereotypical like pop country Taylor Swift biting song. Like they're all. It's so. Those are what feel like. Oh, you went on to GarageBand. You put on the loops of like. You know, you use one of those named electronic drummers. You got Harold on there and like just made a pop song by letting it go. You know,
Yeah, totally.
at least Train stole a song that actually exists
That's true.
and is real.
Different songs stood out to me as like, you know, the Mana songs. And I feel like one that I did like in comparison to the rest of them. I mean, obviously, we should just say it now. Humble doesn't even... We can't
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about that in relation to the other songs. It's actually feels like it's speaking to all of the other songs on this list.
Sit down. Be humble. Sit down.
Right? The fact that it's 35 out of 40, I think, says a lot.
Yeah.
Like, fuck y'all.
But
But it's great that it's on there at all.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I feel like
Kendrick Lamar's album's
Congratulations.
great.
I kind of liked Congratulations. Like
Did ya?
I would put that on. I would listen to that song.
The like slow dance, like college graduation song.
No, it's like it's how does it go? We'll be playing it when we listen to it, but we should all play
Oh
it
no, you know what? I'm
for
thinking of
ourselves, right? It's the Post Malone
It's the Post
song.
Malone song with Quavo,
Yeah,
which
with Quavo.
I actually agree.
Right.
I could listen to that song. That was one of the ones that would go on when I was skimming through that I could listen to the whole song.
Now they always say congratulations. That one.
That was pretty
you know
good.
what? Okay, looking at my notes, no, I don't. I didn't like it because I thought it sounded like a kind of a mediocre Drake rip.
Okay. But
But I could see like again, like it sounds different.
right.
You know,
The
which is
production
huge.
quality is a little different.
They ripped Drake better than Drake ripped himself, though. I mean, Passion Fruit
true.
is terrible. It sounds like
I
someone
love
sent
Passion
him.
Fruit.
It sounds like someone sent him a beat, right? And they put like a lazy synthesizer riff over it as a suggested melody, and he goes, "Oh, cool, that's the melody," and he sang it, and it was totally flat and unaffected, and he just like didn't care about that song at all.
I do think Drake is the worst thing in that song, but I actually like the production a lot. I think it's like very minimal and like kind of spooky. I mean, I think was it Andrew or Ryan mentioned it was something like the cave music in a JRPG?
Yeah.
Yeah. It feels like that, but I always love those songs, and I think the idea of like making like this 6-minute long song of just this like mellow rip of that, I thought so when we were on tour, we got this album like a little early somehow because I don't know, Sadie just has connections or whatever.
Yeah.
And the album's not very good at all, but I remember like very distinctly when that song came on, it was the only one where we were like, oh, okay, the album is like working okay here.
Okay.
While the rest of it was like super bleak. So maybe it's a nostalgia thing
Or
for
like
like 2 months ago.
Within the album, it makes sense. Maybe.
No, because the album's terrible. I don't know if you've heard it, but it's not very good.
I have not.
More Life is really bad. Passion Fruit, but again, it's like on this top 40, like among a lot of bad songs, Passion Fruit sticks out really huge. And I'm not like a Drake fan in general, so maybe that's part of it. But
What'd you think about Passion Fruit, Andrew?
I think it's
passionate?
okay. It's not one I'd go back to and listen to. And I think that, honestly, a lot of my notes are next to songs and are some variation of, I don't hate this as much as I feel like I should. Like the song Human, I was like, if this is kind of like if the song Take Me to Church was okay.
Yeah.
It sounds like there was a record label that heard Hozier a couple years ago and decided that they needed someone to go against him, kind of like when the Killers came out and the Bravery got signed. And you were like, these guys have no claim to fame except for that the Killers were popular a year ago. I kind of felt that same thing.
was it the guy in the Bravery or Kaiser Chiefs who could jump really high?
I don't know. What?
There is some guy who like could jump really high, and that like saved him from a car wreck.
What?
You jumped over a car?
No, he like jumped up high enough that the car didn't pull him under.
Whoa. And like just broke his legs or something?
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
He broke his jumping legs, could never jump again.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do another attempt at humming a melody. Let's do Believer.
Don't you tell me what you think that I can be. I'm the one at the sail. I'm the master of my sea.
By Imagine Dragons.
Oh God. That.
You can do it.
I can do this one if you guys can't.
Will can do it.
Can you give me a start?
I don't got it.
So the chorus and the verse are extremely different. The da 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 da.
That doesn't sound anything. Wait.
That's the whole chorus.
Oh.
Da, 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 da.
And it ends every line in the chorus ends with oh.
I do remember that little bit, yeah.
Imagine Dragons just sounds like they heard that like pumped up kick song and were like, we can make a career out of this.
Yeah.
Let's just every song we do is this song now.
Our target market is being on the background audio in an Urban Outfitters somewhere.
Yeah.
Right.
It sounds like the one vocal thing they do in Rock Lobster, B-52s.
Yeah.
Which vocal thing? Wait.
I think
Oh yeah.
I think you all won that round with the woo. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
And for knowing it.
one thing I did notice and kind of appreciate, and they weren't songs that I particularly enjoyed, but it was kind of heartening to see songs in other languages here.
Yeah.
Songs in Spanish.
Sure.
That was really cool. They weren't my favorites. I didn't really care for them, but the fact that those songs were on the charts is nice.
Yeah, I kind of liked See You in a Vase. Like it was a Selena cover, right? I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is it
Pretty good. Yeah.
I mean, this is going back to 2002. This is a thing Shakira also did, and like
Yeah.
Enrique Iglesias. Like it's been a thing. I do like that it's still a thing. I guess that it's not something that was like a weird Latin pop phase.
Right. Yeah, it's a good. I don't know. I enjoyed those songs. Those were not on my like bottom third.
I liked Despacito better before I looked up what Despacito meant.
What does it mean?
It means like
What's Despacito?
I think it's like Let's Take It Slow, which is the content of all the other songs, and it kind of spoiled it for
Right.
me because there was that like curtain down of like I don't really know what he's singing about, so the melody I can appreciate it better. And
I will say, Swalla is not about taking it slow.
No, it is not about taking it.
The
slow.
award goes to-
Neither is Cake.
The award goes to Jason Derulo for having a chorus that only has one English word in it, which is drank.
Drink. Swalla la la. drink.
Well, barely.
I thought two songs were playing at the same time the entire time Swallow was playing. I was like, is my iTunes open too and playing something?
I do love that, like, even, like, there were a couple bad songs on here that I feel like were justified just because Nicki Minaj did, like, a sick verse over them.
Yeah.
And that was, like, there. Great. I'm glad there's a song on there with a Nicki Minaj verse between singles she writes.
The thing that drove me, I think, the most nuts in this entire list somehow was the song "There's Nothing Holding Me Back." Where I
What
was like,
is
why?
that?
By Shawn Mendes.
Yeah, which drives me crazy is like,
That's a very coffee shop song.
why did only one of those two words drop the last G? Why isn't it "There's nothing holding me back" or "There's nothing holding me back"? Like, why is it only one of them?
It's terrible.
He only had so many apostrophes to use. Like, you only get two.
Yeah, like
Who the hell
like
is
Burger
Shawn
King
Mendes?
billboard. He only had so many versions of the letters.
Right.
Yeah, I can't remember that song at all.
Nope.
I think I'm the One wins the prize for most feats. It's DJ Khaled, Justin Bieber, Quavo, Chance, and Lil Wayne.
Either you can't even fly. I know this. You think that you know shit.
That was Mana
Yeah.
from Heaven for me. I had that song bumping in the car.
Will loves that
Just grooving
song.
out. I'm just like dancing at the stoplights. This is all I can do. It's got two of my favorite rappers on it giving two of their like least impressive performances that I've ever heard.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Chance the Rapper. Saw his concert last month in Oakland.
Justin Bieber's an incredible rapper. Like,
Blows me away every
doing
time.
terrible work.
And Lil Wayne just now, he even calls himself out in his own verses for phoning it in.
Yeah.
Like at the end, his last line is, I'm pretty sure I'm just flexing on my accent, meaning I'm just sounding like myself on this track and getting full credit and money for it.
Yeah.
I'm the One feels like the song. So I tried to give them superlatives as I went. And I'm the One is like most likely to be heard in public all summer. Like,
Yeah.
like that's going to be at stupid bars where you sit outside and people they're like watching sports in the afternoon. That song's going to be on.
I agree with that one.
Very excited. I can't wait.
So, I also had a question. This is kind of my big question. Why is Ed Sheerhan?
Yeah.
I also have questions about Ed Sheeran because Will pointed out. Okay, so let's talk
Why
about
is he?
Castle on the Hill first.
Oof.
Okay.
Oof.
Most
Okay.
embarrassing lyrics was the one that I had for that.
Is it the one where he talks about breaking his leg?
He's like,
Yeah.
I used to roll cigarettes and smoke them. I used to drink and run from the cops. I just don't understand his fake nostalgia. Nobody cares about your nostalgia. You're burying your soul, but your soul is not worth burying.
Friends and lost them through the years. And I've not seen the boring fields in so long.
Also, like, this is a picture. I'm going to Slack you a picture of, not Slack, I'm on Slack here. Send you an image of the man who was running from the cops and rolling his own cigarettes.
By the way, that was our reaction to Ed Sheeran's face.
Yeah. He also, if you ever see him, like he has a bunch of tattoos and every one of them looks like a lost bet.
I don't know, man. Like, is he like someone's kid who's like super rich and famous? Like, how did he get here? Why is he here?
The top 40 charts will always need like a milquetoast white man making bland acoustic pop, and I thought it had that already.
Yeah.
So it's weird that this man is also here.
Well, Taylor Swift
If I-
likes him a lot. That's, I think, where he got his break, is because she kind of
Oh,
called him up to the majors.
Jeez.
I didn't know that.
Why did she like? Why though? She liked Harry Styles, and that was good because Harry Styles is great.
If I had to take either Ed Sheeran or Harry Styles, I
This
would
man is
definitely
born in
take Harry
1991.
Styles.
Oh
What?
yeah, I would fuck Harry Styles over Ed Sheeran any day.
Agreed.
Oh my god. Oh god, his third album was just a division symbol.
Yeah, that's this one.
It's plus, times, and division.
That makes me very sad.
The division symbol is the name of his album? How did I not notice that?
Yeah, and there's a
Yeah,
deluxe version.
Like, you
Ugh.
can't... Sigur Rós already did punctuation as a title. You can't do it anymore.
Well, he's also going to run out. I mean, his plus is a plus sign, a multiplication sign, a division sign. Eventually, he's just going to write, like, foil.
Yeah,
Or, like, tan.
he's gonna
cosine.
get in way over his head.
I imagine there's a hiatus between times and division. I think that was him trying to figure out another mathematical symbol.
This is my new single, TI-83.
So Castle on the Hill, there's that, like, he does, like, the raspy voice thing in that song that makes me think he's trying to sound like Ryan Adams. Did you guys hear that? It sounded like almost exactly like a Ryan Adams pre-chorus.
That all country thing, yeah, for sure.
I don't get it. And then Shape of You is a completely different and also really terrible song.
That's the one I've been waking up in the morning with stuck in my head, and I hate it. I'm like whistling it.
I'm so sorry. You know what got stuck in my head, and I feel bad about it every time, is Paris.
Oh, no. The Chainsmokers.
Which is one of the worst songs I've ever heard, and I think because of that, like, has wormed its way into my head. I think it's also like, I take a shuttle from the train into work, and they always have Top 40 radio on, and this is almost always the song. Oh, cat! This is almost always the song that comes on in that van, and so every time it had this week, I was like, oh, I recognize that. Oh no.
Oh no.
You know, like.
Is that the song about, like, getting in a fight or being upset with your parents, so you go to Paris?
We were staying in Paris to get away from your parents, and I thought, wow, if I could take this.
To get away from your parents?
Yeah, to fight with your parents. Or, we went to Paris to get away from your parents.
Yeah, that really relatable thing that we can all do with the hat, which is fly to France.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure Ed Sheeran loves that song.
The Chainsmokers, so it's worth saying they are, like, literally frat boys who are like, oh, making pop songs are easy and we can get laid like this.
Yeah.
They played, like, a high school prom around here.
What?
Like, in one of these Chicago suburbs, they just, like, dropped in to play a high school prom. And ever since I heard about that, I can't get over the fact that, like, they were probably doing that to pick up high school chicks.
Probably.
Like, there's no other reason. They were just like, wow, we don't have a show scheduled here, but we're both horny all the time.
Well, this is a good
point.
point.
We're both creeps all the time.
This is a good point to talk about how fucked up, like, most of these songs are.
Mm-hmm.
The attitude toward dating other people is just not. I can't.
I think the romance part is what, like, because here's the thing, like, misogyny has always been in pop music.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Eminem's on this anywhere, but, like, the way they treat relationships is so, like, gaslighty and manipulative and shitty, like.
Yeah, the whole, like, from every angle.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, either you are.
Like, it's psychologically misogynistic rather than just, like, fuck bitches. It's like, you know, no, you never appreciated me enough and you're so crazy and, like.
Isn't there a line that's like, I can get her because she doesn't get very many likes?
Yeah, that's I Spy. I spy a girl I can get that because she doesn't get enough likes. Yeah, it's like negging. It's a celebration of negging.
That's fun.
Jesus.
Well, it's also, there's that aspect that's like women as objects to fuck, or as people who don't appreciate me, the narrator's genius, or women as objects of just purity and light, that we're going to take it slow because you're so beautiful, and which is just as fucked up.
It is.
Can I say that's another reason I like Sign of the Times, though? I feel like lyrically that's one of the better things to talk about, like, you know, a sad thing to presumably a girl, mostly because it's abstract, but, like, it's not misogynistic.
Yeah.
That's so rare here.
Yeah, it is so rare
I can
here.
agree with that.
I just want to take a detour and say, Sam Hunt, if you're going 15 miles an hour in a 25 or 30 on a back road, I will be the guy with my high beams on behind you. Fuck you, you asshole.
What? How did I not pick that up? Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's like an urban legend movie, you know? Like, that's... Ooh. Body Like a Back Road.
Yeah, that fucking song. That's the one that made me the most furious. That was my dead at the bottom for me.
Yeah.
Somebody loved that song, right?
A lot of people
don't
did.
know.
Before I
Among
listened
Us,
to the
though?
song, I tried to come up with all the different metaphors I could come up with what her body was like if it was like a back road. Like, full of potholes.
Unpaved and unmaintained.
Covered in gravel.
Difficult to find on a map.
Got some ruts, like, carved into it. I don't know.
Belly button like a pothole.
People go there to make out. I don't know.
Ass like a roundabout.
That's pretty good,
That's
actually.
better.
I'm into that. Especially because, like, got an ass like a cul-de-sac.
Yeah, like Sam
Yeah.
Hunt knows any words in French.
No, that's true.
By the way, Columbia Records, if you need somebody to write lyrics for you, all four of us are here for hire.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, please.
please hire us. We'll be the new
Please.
Tin Pan Alley.
What about the song
Sorry.
Rockabye?
Rock, I was just about to say, like, I didn't like Rockabye, but it's a style of song I feel like you don't get that much. Like, speaking of Santana Maria, that song is just like, a rough a growing up rough, and like it's like a story.
Yep, I like that. I like that song, but not this song. I didn't like Rockabye. Is this song about putting your child to sleep so you can fuck?
No, it's because like life's really hard and she's poor.
Yeah.
No, it's really
it's the 2017 City High. What would you do if your son was at home song?
I thought it was going to be a cover of Rockabye by that one guy from the late 90s.
Oh my god, I have that song in my head right now. Is that song better or worse?
Sean Mullins.
I don't know if y'all can hear me, but for that whole thing, it was just like froze up with like robot voices. So it's like I heard, what if that song was
probably better than what we had to listen to.
Probably.
Yeah, it's still better than Rockabye.
We touched on it a little bit, but I do want to just get back into like I was not expecting Bad Liar to be good, and I feel like there's no reason I've never listened to Selena Gomez. Isn't she like a Disney Channel star or something?
Yes.
Inside space, bigger than it used to be. If you want, you can rent that place. Call me an amenity.
Like, there's no reason this song is as good as it is, like, except that it's, especially like after hearing the Psycho Killer bass line, I was like, no.
Yeah.
No. I have no hopes.
Yeah, I like that one.
Also,
that's like a top 3 on this list for me.
Definitely.
She makes
For
a
sure.
Going going into the second chorus that I'm like, oh, you're going to go there? You're going to go there with the song? Okay. That's cool. I'll keep listening.
Yeah, this is my chorus squeak. Cake also, I forgot about Flo Rida. I didn't know Flo Rida would make a pop song, an auto-tuned like T-Pain song.
Yeah.
Like Cake.
I didn't realize how messed up the song was. I thought it was just someone who goes to a party and like the first thing they do is go over to the food table.
Right.
Well, I would relate to that.
Yeah,
very much. Yeah.
Like that on a spiritual level.
That's a running gag we
haven't.
haven't gone back to in a while, huh? That Andrew doesn't know what sex is.
Yeah. It's a good bit.
It took me a while to try and place, because like when someone uses a word like this to stand in for fucking, I want to know exactly what they mean by it, because it seems like it could have some specificity that it doesn't have.
Right. Like it's like it's a metaphor, right? It's like regular words can't capture the emotion I'm trying to get as well as cake does. Like there's a specific kind of fucking that only cake can capture.
Yeah. And I don't know what that is.
As a poet, that spoke to me.
Not even
deeply.
pie though. Like traditionally, people fucking pies is a really standard part of American
It's an American
culture.
tradition.
Yeah.
Well, he's from Florida. They don't.
It's true.
They do things a little different.
They fuck
Florida.
they fuck Carvel ice cream cakes down there to stay cool in the summers.
Those Carvel ice cream cakes are like brick hard. You just bust your balls.
Why do you think they call it Cookie Puss?
Wow.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so
I'm sad now.
let's go back to Bad Liar though.
Can't beat that.
Because what I really love about Bad Liar, the thing that makes it stand out, I think, is the arrangement. It's not necessarily like the song. It's the percussive, like the subtle percussion, like the syncopation. Whoever arranged that song, like, good job. You know?
I kind of want to look that up now.
It's really good. That song's good.
It's like so when I say like I like pop music, I like pop music. It's stuff like this really well written, like well made, catchy, good, trifling, but still like get stuck. Oh, here's why. It was. Oh no, never mind. I thought I saw that Flying Lotus produced it, but I was looking at something else.
It's like Thundercat or
No, I mean all of Talking Heads gets a writing credit on it, and these other people I've never heard of.
Fine.
It calls the bass line from Psycho Killer an uneven bass line.
Okay.
This Wikipedia.
But it also uses like pop song conventions, like the changes and some of the vocal patterns are like things that you've heard before. I don't know. It does a really good job.
Well, it's exactly what writing a good pop song is hard, right? Like it is a craft, and I feel like this is the only one of like 2 or 3 songs on the top 40 that actually like recognized that and wrote a good pop song.
Yes.
Around it.
It's unadorned, and it's like really kind of uncomplicated and simple.
Yep.
Like us.
Yeah.
Like a walnut desk.
All right. So last test. Let's try to hum Kissing Strangers.
My way out through the concrete jungle. Who walks with me? Hey.
Oh,
Oh, that's the other Nicki Minaj verse. Shit. Wait, what is it? These scenes, like these songs, feel like half-remembered dreams. Like, right? Like I kind of remember the vibe of Kissing Strangers, but I can't. It's not coalescing into like a song.
I know it opens with like that sort of synthesizer that sounds like a PlayStation game's menu opening up, and it's like bring.
Right. Oh yeah. Like a Mario jumping or something. Yeah.
And the lyrics are it's about kissing strangers. That's the chorus.
I'm gonna look up the lyrics and see if that jogs my memory.
Okay.
Because I remember
That's
it's about
fair.
kissing strangers.
Oh man.
Na 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 na. Nope. I have no idea.
You're
Na
close,
na na
Andrew.
na 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 na.
Are you reading the lyrics off right now?
I'm trying to do the Katamari Damacy's theme.
Which would be better than every song almost on this list.
Yeah.
Almost.
Speaking of top 40s, that's the album I want. Katamari Damacy.
Okay, so we didn't talk yet about this song, Malibu.
Yeah. Is this the one that's causing all that controversy about how Miley Cyrus is trying to stop appropriating black culture?
I didn't know that there was controversy about her not doing that.
Well, it was controversy about her being like, oh, you know what, all that, like, that was just a phase, and now I'm going back to, like, my countrified roots.
Right.
You know, sort of, like, further tokenizing the gesture. It is a very sunny, this is like a Sheryl Crow at her most country and bland
Yes.
kind of song.
I think her voice is really impressive. Like, especially when I see her, like when she did 50 Ways to Leave Your Lover on SNL. I think that's pretty great. Like, she's got a really good voice.
The only thing I noted here was that I liked the guitar sound in the chorus. I thought it was kind of nice chiming quality. Like it was played by a person.
Yes.
With a guitar, maybe a Rickenbacker. I don't know.
Which makes songs on this list stand out for sure.
Oh, absolutely. There's not even guitar on like the Linkin Park or the Train song.
Nope. I didn't know.
That Linkin Park song, by the way, were you expecting that to be what the Linkin Park song sounded like?
Why is everything so heavy?
No, that's what I was just gonna say. Like, I don't
It's
even
called Heavy.
recognize his voice. I listened to Linkin Park. I will admit that
me too.
I
I love
liked
them.
Linkin Park.
I used to spike
when
my
I was
hair up
growing
like Chester.
Yeah.
Those first two albums.
yeah.
I owned those first two.
When Hybrid Theory was the only one out, I remember hunting down the two B-sides from the era just so I could get more Linkin Park.
Yeah.
What were they?
Which
They
they
were
were
high.
terrible.
What were they? High Voltage, and what was the other B side? I remember.
My
this stuff.
December.
Yeah,
My December.
That was it.
Mm-hmm.
And
High
then
Voltage. Can't shake the shock.
we should have known that Linkin Park was headed this way. They've been giving us hints since Breaking the Habit. I mean, that was on the second album. they put
Yeah,
out.
that's true.
It's true. But this is like
even
this
they
is like a
fell
Drake
victim
song.
to the production sound. Like even Linkin Park, not
Yeah.
that they were bastions of any kind of originality, but even they are just kind of made bland by this production.
Well, it sounds like they saw that like what Drake made cool again was being like a sad nerd
Right.
who couldn't find love, and that was always Linkin Park's shtick, especially Chester's.
Yeah.
And so he was like, so that's okay, so I can do that and stay relevant.
But this
So that's
is
what I'm going to do now.
this is very bad.
It's very bad.
Way tangent. Did you guys know Chester was fronting Stone Temple Pilots for a little while?
I did
in the
not.
world?
I did not.
Post Scott
know that.
Weiland dying or before?
I think I'm not sure, but I know it was in the last couple of years.
Wow.
Let me
Oh my Lord.
let me get the research on that one while you guys continue.
STP, man.
Shit.
What a great... That's an episode we have to do someday.
Elegant
Stone
Bastard.
Temple
Stone Temple
Pilots?
Pilots.
Yeah.
Fucking sour girl.
So in the style of your show, Desert Island Discourse, which everyone should go listen to, you choose a top song or a top album, right? But we're going to do songs. You choose a surprise, and then just the worst.
Yeah.
Most disappointing.
Yeah.
But it often becomes the worst. Yes.
So I would like to do that before we like move on in the
And
conversation.
we're keeping Humble out of this, right?
I think for fairness we have to.
Because it is
Yeah.
the best.
Because it's the best.
It's
because
like-
Kendrick Lamar is the only certified genius on this whole list.
Right, and he'll tell you that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He's humble.
He knows.
I can go.
Yeah,
No
yeah.
one else is.
Yeah.
Max, you go first.
I'm gonna say most disappointing, weirdly enough, was The Cure.
Oh yeah.
Because I like some of Lady Gaga's early singles like a lot. they're all kind of like New Order ripoffs or whatever, but I love New Order. Like, I'm into that. And this song wasn't fun or catchy, like, at all. Like, this song blended in as much with everything else. Where I was kind of expecting it to be this kind of pop bastion in the middle.
Yep.
It's coming between Scared to Be Lonely and the Maroon 5 song, which were terrible. Like, so I was like, okay, well, Lady Gaga's going to give me a break here. And it really didn't. It's a very bad song is what it is.
Very
and that disappointed me. It's not the worst song on here. Attention's the worst song on here, but The Cure I was expecting to be good.
Yeah. I did too. I had the same exact experience of this song. Yeah. I was like, oh, Lady Gaga's on the list. That's going to be, if not good, then at least a break.
Right.
And it was not.
No. Should I keep going, or do you want to go around with most disappointing?
Yeah, let's do everybody's most disappointing. Will?
All right, so my most disappointing was, I was really, really hoping that the Charlie Puth song "Attention" was gonna give me what I wanted in the chorus, and it didn't. And I just got so built up that this is gonna be a great song. This is gonna be the one that I can listen to and appreciate, and it absolutely wasn't. It fell totally flat. And it went from, it just really disappointed me. It became quickly the worst song. And again, if you could just turn those vocals into a melody, I could groove to that song all day long, but it's definitely mine.
Like, that bass line would be a really good Tame Impala song.
Yeah. I could see it being a good Daft Punk reunion album sort of song.
Yep.
But somebody with a sense of melody. Who's not a shit.
Yeah. Mine was, I think, probably That's What I Like by Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
Because the last song of his I'd heard was that one that kind of sounds like a Police song.
Uptown Funk, or?
No. What's the name of that one? But it sounds like a fucking Police song, and it's pretty great.
I actually liked Uptown Funk.
And this one's not good. This one I didn't care for one iota.
But again, hearing real instruments on this was nice. Because that song does have some real instruments, and that's worth hearing. I kind of respect Bruno Mars, but also was very disappointed by this too. Yeah.
Locked Out of Heaven, that's the one. That's the song. It sounds like
I haven't heard
the
that.
Police.
What about you, Ryan?
What disappointed you, Ryan?
Okay, so I'm gonna go with Harry Styles, Sign of the Times. That's my most disappointing because it was so hyped. I'd been waiting in checkout lines, seeing his face on the Rolling Stone for months. His little
Rolling Stone.
His tired face on the Rolling Stone, which honestly is the first contemporary face I've seen on the cover of a Rolling Stone magazine in a long time. I was like, okay, maybe he's doing something good. Will had a copy of that Rolling Stone in his bathroom on the floor, so every time I took a piss
to poop on,
in his apartment, I was just Harry Styles was looking up at me really tired, like I can't tell if it's seductive or sleepy, but I got to pee looking down at him and him looking up at me. I was like, all right. So there's an established relationship. I have some expectations. I came into it. I listened to this song, and it's just the song it wants to be. It is not. I don't think. Mm-hmm. And I think maybe it's the production value. I think something about the production just compresses the fuck out of the song, and it just sounds like, I don't know, shit.
I could see that. I am a little disappointed at the way the production treats that song, which I do think, again, is well written, well performed, really compressed.
So now, most surprising.
Most surprising for me was actually probably Cake.
Oh, really?
Well, because it's Flo Rida. I wasn't I have an idea of what Flo Rida means to me. I think we all have a Flo Rida inside of us that, is unique to us, but this was not it. And I actually did like it, a lot. I didn't think it was a great song, but as far as, a pleasant trifle, it was actually, catchy and short and didn't sound like everything else.
Totally.
Which is so valuable.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, Will, I think you're next.
Yeah, surprise for me was definitely Bad Liar. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought the same thing that we mentioned earlier about Disney star turning pop star.
Yeah,
it typically doesn't work out. I guess. Well, actually, that's not even true because Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake both did that. But
isn't Drake a Disney Channel person too?
Degrassi.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah. Degrassi's Canadian.
Canadian
That's not,
it's
Disney.
Canadian. Sorry.
Canadian Disney.
yeah, they don't have Disney in Canada.
Yeah, so Bad Liar, the Talking Heads thing surprised me, and then they didn't totally ruin it. So I dug that.
Yep.
Yeah.
What about you, Andrew?
For me, it was actually Issues.
Oh yeah.
For a lot of the reasons why we're all on the Bad Liar train. It's like a pretty simple song, and it turns out actually that she co-wrote Bad Liar.
Oh.
Was one of the credited
There we go.
co-writers, along with Selena Gomez and all of Talking Heads.
Right.
But yeah, that one's it's a simple kind of driving song. It doesn't fall into any of the traps of repetitiveness and pattern that the rest of these songs do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just kind of enjoyed the simplicity of it.
I have that down here on my list too. I dug the plucky sound of the strings. I'm like a sucker for that kind of background instrumentation.
Yeah, and I feel like it's the songs that like you might not remember, but they'd kind of surprise you that stick out. Because mine was Slide with Frank Ocean and Migos.
Oh yeah.
That song, like, if I heard it outside of the context of this top 40, I might be like, all right, like I could do this.
Yeah.
Like I can get into this. If I was at a bar and that song came on, I'd be like moving a little bit, just a little bit, not a lot.
Yeah, I
Frank
think
Ocean
the
really does make
DJs.
everything better.
I think the DJs do a good job of going through the talent and making sure they feature some people. Because I mean, that's some Calvin Harris, right? We had Kygo with Selena Gomez on that "It Ain't Me" song.
Yeah.
And they just kind of, I feel like they picked the right people and give them the stuff. What I liked about that "It Ain't Me" song too is that the chorus is a sample of the verse. They didn't really record a chorus. They just sampled her singing the verse and made the chorus. Yeah. Oh, they chop and
God.
screw the verse, and that's the chorus. And I thought that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
So, what's the ultimate best?
My pick, I've been going back and forth on this, but because Bad Liars is great, Sign of the Times is great. The only song here I kept coming back to, though, like even when like I didn't care, was Passion Fruit.
Yeah?
Yeah, because Passion Fruit, just mood-wise, like I'm just into it. Like I could just listen to that instrumental. Like the instrumental almost sounds like the softer part of a Burial song. Like if I could just like mood out to that for a while, and I did, and like tune out Drake, it's great. And so I went back to it a lot for that. Like
Between us, just like picket fences.
let's do Passion Fruit. Like this fits my mood. I'm picking it.
Picking
Yeah.
it. Passion Fruit.
I got to go with the number one feature track. I got to go with my boy DJ Khaled, some Bieber, some Chance the Rapper, some Quavo, some Lil Wayne, all dropping mediocre performances, but the song just being like summer enough for me to get my groove
It's
on while
exactly
I'm
the sum of
driving.
its parts.
DJ Khaled.
I actually never listened to a DJ Khaled song before, and I thought his voice was going to be deeper. And then I don't know
sir.
why. I expected something a little...
He's
I don't
an
know if
opposing
he-
figure. Like
Yeah, I don't know if he says anything other than "We the best music" on that track.
True.
But
All right, Andrew.
So for me, my pick was Bad Liar.
Yeah?
I think
So great.
we've talked about it enough. I'm not going to add too much to it. I just think it's just a really great pop song that, from my reaction for the first 10 seconds when I realized it was Psycho Killer, was, oh no. And for the rest of it, I just was completely on board.
Yeah. It's hard not to go with that, but I want to pick something else. I'm gonna keep hitting the note of Congratulations, Post Malone. That's the song that I'm gonna go with. That's my fave. Next to Humble. I mean, everyone's favorite's Humble.
yes.
it's humble, yeah,
But-
obviously.
But that's mine. That's my pick.
All right.
Off the day. That's good.
So it wouldn't be a Walnut Desk episode if we didn't talk about some conspiracies. So I think that Will did some research and found that over 50% of the musical artists on the top 40 currently are signed to Columbia Records or some imprint of
God.
Columbia Records.
Oh shit.
It
Oh,
seems that
dang.
way. I did not go into depth and check every
And
single
they're all
thing.
on each other's songs.
So they're all cross-pollinating and promoting, and I wonder what influence Columbia Music has on picking the top 40, right? Because there's the iTunes top 40, which is sales of singles. Right. And then, like Andrew mentioned earlier, it's streaming numbers that probably give us this list, plus Robo DJ plays, probably based on our streaming data.
Right.
I think part of it, not to debunk the conspiracy offhand, Columbia has like everybody.
It's true.
I'm looking it up right now. Their motto is music moving forward, which doesn't sound like anything.
Sounds very.
It's not moving music forward. It's the music is alive and moving itself.
Yeah, I think
and we're recording it.
It just reminds me of that one Godspeed You Black Emperor album where they just kind of tied every record label to the military-industrial complex companies.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the music industry is rife with conspiratorial stuff.
Yeah, and like the top 40 feels like a way for big record companies to like subsist.
I mean, as Rum DMC once said, I think it's all about the payola. I think this has to be some kind of payola thing going on, right? Because there's because there's no objective marker of like what is top 40. There's no like sales you can point to really. Like it is just what the top 40 radio plays. It's like a snake eating its own tail.
Yeah. They can't show us a formula.
Right. It's wake up, sheeple.
But who even listens to this? Because like Max and I were talking previously about this. Like, we would have no access to a lot of these songs if we didn't do this. And like the popular top 40, like the iTunes top 40 is a different thing that people are actually listening to. Who the fuck listens to this shit?
Yeah. Who is this for? That's kind of the question I asked about a lot of these songs and about this list too. Like, who is this for?
Yeah.
I think like the sort of thing I ended up thinking is like the top 40 doesn't mean these are the top 40 songs anymore. No. Right? Top 40 is just a genre. Top 40 is the genre of station, and the top 40 is just a playlist for that genre. Is like the only thing I can think of because there's no objective marker here. It's just like this is the style of music you want.
Right. Otherwise, how do you end up with Humble and Play That Song on the same playlist? Other than that, there's
and Humble feels like it like snuck on here, like nobody was paying attention and just got there. I mean, because Kendrick Lamar's huge, but also like Humble's way different from everything else here.
It's not a pop song in the same way that a lot of these are at all.
It's not even really a pop song for Kendrick. Like, it's one of the harder songs on that album.
Yeah, maybe he passed fucking Sam Hunt's truck on the back road because he was going too slow and sneaking his way into it.
Fuck you, Sam Hunt. So, like, the one thing that we are going to do, and maybe you two would like to partake in as well, is that after this, we're going to try and make a pop song at home.
Oh, okay.
And see whose is best.
Okay.
We could try that.
Do you want to take part in this?
I'm down for that.
I got GarageBand. Fuck it.
Yeah, same. Exactly. That's all we're going to use.
Do you have any of your instruments with you anymore, Andrew?
I have my guitar. It's the only one I haven't sold to help pay rent at some point over the last 10 years.
Well, I have a bunch of pedals and a drum machine, so we can make it work.
Yeah, so we'll take a couple weeks on that, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, no timeline yet.
Our song of the summer.
We'll put out an EP.
Yeah. We're also going to come up with, each of us are going to come up with our own top 10s that we'll post, and together we'll make the alternative top 40, which I will also make into a playlist, which will be so much better.
I'm looking forward to it.
For your listening ears.
So
anything else I think you want to talk about?
I think that's it. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Check out Desert Island Discourse on Twitter at DIDiscs Podcast, on iTunes. Rate, like, subscribe.
And much like them, like the only currency that fucking matters to us is those 5-star ratings with the description. If you give one, we still have...
You're giving us rocks?
We're going to give you some pet rocks. Walnut Desk Podcast branded pet rocks
pet
will
stones,
be on the radio
Ryan,
if you let us know that you 5-star rated us.
TM.
And go give them those 5-star ratings too.
Yes, please. And y'all should be on for an episode. We need to figure out a band for y'all.
Yeah,
we should.
Tell us what bands you'd want to do, and we'll figure it out.
Fit it in.
So many.
Like
what about your top 40 yes or no? I think isn't that kind of...
Oh, right. We have to do it.
Yeah. Oh.
Does the Walnut Desk approve of the top 40? Andrew and Max, lead us.
No.
I'm gonna say yes.
No, this is
just because I think it's just such an interesting, like, sociological slice of America.
Yeah.
Because, like, I could go easily throughout my life just as normal and not really encounter any of this music. So I appreciate that as much as I think the vast majority of it is total shit. I think it's kind of interesting to dive into a little bit. So I'd say yes, personally. But I also know makes all of the sense to me as well.
Well, one, like, I think appropriately for the podcast we're on, I never felt more like Andy Rooney than I did listening to this list of just like, what is wrong with the world today? Is it the government, the media, or your family? It's what really bothered me was something I brought up early on, which is that, you know, whereas I did a lot of research into past top 40s, and there's like a lot of like interesting cultural history there. I feel like there isn't anymore because, again, like the sounds of this top 40 are almost exactly the same as every top 40 going back, you know, a decade, 15 years. Like, yeah. And that's what makes me feel like it's not worth it anymore. Like the music landscape has changed so much that whatever cultural relevancy or sociological interest this format may have had is no longer there. It hasn't moved forward at all. It doesn't say anything about where we are right now, and the music's also bad. Mostly.
It definitely doesn't say anything about, but like the deep dive that we just did, we couldn't have done it without the top 40.
It's true. The horrible week we just had.
I'm kind of glad that we did it though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad we did it too. No, this was very enlightening. I just don't think it should exist. Right.
So next challenge will be we only consume conservative media for a week.
Oh God.
Wow. Oh, you're gonna red state on us. Oh no. You're gonna become my grandparents.
I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, no.
I'm gonna say no, and I agree with Andrew, and I am glad we did this. I just feel like this top 40. I'm gonna say no to the Billboard top 40, Billboard mainstream top 40 that we did. Mm-hmm. It should not exist. It's not reflecting a culture. It's trying to project a culture. I'm not interested in that. The iTunes top 40 I would probably be more interested in. It's not showing me. It's like if it's showing me a culture I don't have access to a lot of the time, I'm confused by it, what that culture is up to.
Yeah. I'm going to give a similar non-committal, like, yes, no. Like, I think this is an interesting meditation in the sense of the word where it's painful before you get to the benefit. I now feel like I understand the, like, business push onto pop culture, but I also think that I would appreciate more of, like, what are people actually consuming type of culture. So the iTunes top 40 seems like it would be a better list to review next time. But I think it's an interesting exercise. I think it should be done annually just to make sure you keep your finger on the pulse and at least win more bar trivia when they...
Exactly.
That's very true. So I'll see y'all next year.
So official stance of the Walnut Desk podcast is like a non-committal no to the top 40.
Yeah, right.
That's fair.
The Walnut Desk has never been more wobbly than it is right now.
It's a curmudgeon. It's a curmudgeonly sigh. That's how we feel about it.
It's just a kids these days, and then a slow shuffle.
All right, listeners. Well, thanks for tuning in. Walnut Desk Podcast at Walnut Desk Pod on Twitter. Search us up on iTunes, Google Play, YouTube, all the other places you can consume media. Thanks to Desert Island Discourse Podcast, to Max, to Andrew for being here today. Till next time.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
See, I can hum that one.